Hello, if you're watching for the first time, welcome back to anybody who's watched my videos before. We have got a new arrival on the farm this morning. I'll explain a little bit more about him when I pop in and see him. We've currently just got him shut in the trailer. It's absolutely fine, he's only been in there a few hours because we're going to make him a pen to isolate him. Isolation is a really important part of buying any new stock. It's to ensure that if they do have any form of disease or infection or anything like that, that we can identify it and treat it before it passes on to the rest of the flock. So just opening the door, I've been told he's a little bit wild, so just going to have a little peek in. And here he is. Doesn't he look handsome? So as I said, he's only in here for a couple of hours whilst we make a pen, so he has got some water and some haylage. He is a teaser tup. Now a teaser tup is a entire male that has been vasectomized, and that means obviously that they aren't fertile, so they can't impregnate a sheep, they can't make a sheep become pregnant, but they can help to get the ewes all cycling together. Hopefully then when you put a fertile tup in, they tup them in a much shorter window, and therefore your lambing is in a shorter window. So yeah, here he is. He hasn't got a name yet, but I think he's pretty handsome. He's pretty big as well, and not looking too wild actually, but he is just in here at the moment, so we'll see when we get him out. The pen is getting made up here in this bit of the fold yard. We'll back the trailer up and let him out, so he has that open bit there, and then we'll bed up at the back here, a nice deep bed, and then food and water featuring Ralph. So George is now out of isolation and we have him in here with Big Dave. So Big Dave is one of our other tups, and we've got them in this quite small pen just to basically make sure that they get on. If you put them in a smaller pen, they don't have as much space to square up to each other and headbutt each other. So albeit it's a little small, we know that they're getting on and they'll soon be released into a wider pen, but logistically for management reasons we need these two to get on as they'll be living together. It's been made slightly easier in terms of their getting on, in terms of the fact that Dave is an entire tup and George, as we've named him, is vasectomized, and therefore obviously hormones are slightly different. His nature is not as aggressive as a normal tup. Here we are, we've got Big Dave on the right and George on the left. George has done his isolation. He's also spent his time in the smaller pen with Big Dave for them to get used to each other, but a bit tighter on space so that they don't butt each other. And actually, they're being really good friends, I would say. Happy together. Yeah. They'll be getting turned out into the field quite soon. I'm in one of our fields of oilseed rape, and I have to say at this stage, having seen some videos on social media of some rape fields which were looking probably some of the best in autumn, even into the new year, are now absolutely decimated by pigeon, flea beetle. So I feel very lucky that we've got a crop of rape in here, but I wanted to check in on it and see how it's looking after our first night of frost. So probably about -6 last night here. And I did mean to come and get a video yesterday before we had this first frost, but not gonna lie, I completely forgot. But I think it'll still be interesting to see over the next couple of days if the frost really affects it. I'm just on a tram line here, so arguably this plant is a little bit more open to the frost being right on the edge, but you can see how it's just started to lean over a little bit, as have some of the other ones. So obviously just a little bit affected by these harsher temperatures. it will definitely be very interesting to see what happens as we go forward. Those of you who are eagle-eyed will notice that over there's a bit of a line, and that segment here is just part of a trial, so obviously it does look slightly different to the rest of the crop. You can see this one here looks like it's really taken a bit of a fall, as has that one, but their plants are coming into bud now, so we're hoping that the crop will survive. With anything on the farm, whether that's crops or livestock, machinery even, there's time and there's money invested in getting things invested and getting things looking their absolute best. So as I said, we're absolutely crossing our fingers that this rape doesn't take too much of a hit from the frost. So slightly on the headland of the field here, but there's some plants which are looking really quite bent over and sorry for themselves. Here, that one in particular looks pretty bad. There's one here as well. So I'm here in the grain shed this morning. We are just getting set up for a Hutchinson's, which is our agronomist student open day. We're welcoming students from universities kind of around our area. I'm tasked with a little talk. I've done a mini presentation, but as I said, we're in the grain shed, so I've got to make the technology, the electrics work. I've got a TV, I'm going to put it on this stand here, and let's just hope it works. Just tested out my presentation and it's working, and no stand, no problem. Just use the heap of wheat to get those signs stood up. Well, I thought we were going to miss the snow, but we haven't. It's still snowing now as well. I don't think there'll be much footage from the snow because I think we're actually going to be quite busy sorting stuff out. But if you enjoyed this episode, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And also, I'm just thinking of anybody who is having snow, weather worse than us. Maybe they've got, maybe they're lambing outside. But yeah, thinking of those people this week.